I'm going to start with what is the goal of peak week. Okay, so the goal of peak week is to support the diet. That's what the goal of peak week training is. It's to support the nutrition, support the changes in hydration, support the changes in supplementation. Again, if we're talking about enhanced athletes, because that is a gigantic component of what is happening the last couple of weeks. It's changes in PED uses or supplementation uses, or water intake, or electrolyte intake, or carbohydrate intake, right? And all of these are meant to allow you and allow your body to go through rapid changes in terms of water compartmentalization, and then also your glycogen storages, right? So you're not burning any additional body fat. Typically, again, let's just zoom it over to like a natural athlete. You're not burning any additional body fat the last week. It's just not happening. All you're doing is you're trying to make very subtle adjustments to where you're storing the most, essentially water, right? Because even with glycogen, it's pulling water into the muscles. So it's basically all just fluid retention. But that's an important aspect here is if you look at someone's peak week diet, typically it will look like a depletion in carbohydrates and a carbing back up process. And with that, there will be changes to hydration, to electrolytes as well, to support that depletion and carbing back up process. What I want to say here is most people think incorrectly that the purpose of training during the depletion process is to burn intramuscular glycogen stores. I'm here to tell you that no matter what the fuck you do with training, if you're eating 25 grams of carbs a day, you existing is depleting your intramuscular glycogen stores. You don't have to do anything in the gym, right? You don't have to go in and do 5 circuits of arm work to deplete your biceps and triceps of glycogen. You just don't have to do it, right? So that's why we take an ultra conservative approach to peak week training, is because you don't really have to fucking do anything to effectively deplete your glycogen stores. You really don't, especially if you're eating very low carbohydrates. And if that has been a continual process, right? Of course, if you're eating 500 grams of carbs and you drop down to 50, the moment of peak week, there's going to be some effect that has to just be burned off. Like that's not going to be immediate. But if you're someone who has been under 100 grams of carbs for the last 3 weeks, and then you deplete further during peak week, all right, you're good. You're good. Your body is going to burn that shit off. You probably don't even have any stores left at that point. Like you're running on fumes. Like half of these people are damn near in ketosis anyway. So it's like what is there left to burn inside of your muscles? Not much. So that's an important point. Because again, the main idea behind peak week training is supportive. It's a support role. So anyone who tries to do too much, you're basically counteracting what the goal of peak week training is meant to be. So don't try to do too much. Everything you do during the prep in general, but especially during peak week, should be minimal dose. Try to get the most stimulus, or the stimulus that is sufficient for the goal, and then fucking leave. Get out. Choose the exercises that are most effective at that, the volume that's the most effective, the percentage of your 1 rep max, the intensity as in terms of proximity to failure. All of those variables should be supportive of the goal, minimal effective dose for sufficient stimulus.